Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Carol Massar along with Tim Stanovic. So let's get to some stocks on the move today. With us is Bloomberg News equities reporter Nora Melinda. All right, Nora, stock number one.
Plethora to choose from today, but I'm looking at shares of D.R Horton. That's ticker DHI. This is one of the stocks that I actually cover. It is a home builder, and it's one of the bellwethers in the industry. We're seeing shares up this afternoon, and this is after it reported orders that topped expectations and a third quarter EPS beat. And so this is really good, especially if you think about the sluggish housing market. This is great news for the sector. So we're seeing a widespread rally coming off of this, as we're seeing a lot of these other companies like Pulte Group, which also reported earnings, rising in sympathy here.
What's the good news, though? I mean, is it because if we...
I know, right? What is the good news?
Well, if we take what we heard from the president earlier today about interest rates and about people not being able to afford homes as a result of that. Rates are still high. There are concerns about construction costs. So I guess expectations were not high. I
mean, there's definitely a lot of overhangs right now when you think about the broader real estate industry, but particularly residential real estate. And we know that D.R Horton actually targets some of the entry level buyers and the move up buyers. And it's interesting because if you think about the average, millennial or people who are looking to get a new home, I don't really hear that many people saying that they're closing. So it's interesting that we are getting these results, but we do have Zelman, the analyst there. They're pointing out that while this was a solid report here, we did see that management tweaked the midpoint of its 2025 revenue and closing guidance. That's a little bit slightly lower. So we do have analysts that are really still trying to see if they are still offering these incentives, because they used to do a lot of these buy downs where they would buy down the rates to make it cheaper and, throw in a dishwasher, throw in some fun things to make it make more sense.
Buy points and so forth, right? Oh God, she was aggressive and really smart. But, I should point out that home building stocks as a whole, they're up about 10%. So investors taking note.
Quite a day.
That you had D.R Horton and Pulte, right? Both come out with some news that has caught the attention of investors. All right, let's go to stock number two. Where do you want to take us?
Let's go to Lockheed Martin. This is the other industry that I cover, aerospace and defense companies. So we're seeing ticker LMT. That's the worst performing stock in the S&P 500 today. Really seeing a decline. It was earlier down as much as 10%. That's the biggest drop since October of 2021. And we're seeing a stock that's down about 14% so far this year. But what people are really taking away from these earnings today is the fact that it had a $1.6 billion amount in charges and a possible tax hit. And that's what's really set the stock tumbling. But we do see a lot of the things that have really been a headwind for the stock is the fact of the criticism that it's really been receiving regarding its F-35 jet. So lots of cost overruns and delays that has really been riddling the company here.
They also didn't get the F-47. That was the new plane that was announced back in March, I believe, that ended up going to Boeing instead.
No, absolutely. So, there's a lot of things that people have really been parsing as it pertains to this company. And it seems as though Wall Street's quite critical today, but not super surprising because I think people had expectations that were kind of low coming into aerospace and defense earnings. We do see Northrop Grumman as a gainer right now, but overwhelmingly you are seeing a bit of people sour right now when it comes to aerospace and defense.
Potentially $4.6 billion in additional taxes owed after an accounting change. And apparently, I guess they're talking with the SEC about this or contesting the matter with the Internal Revenue Service. But whoa, that would be massive.
Absolutely.
Massive.
We're looking at the stock
if it's a one time, but
yeah. I think that these are some really interesting things that it seems like people are really pointing a finger poking here.
All right, let's poke at KSS.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Yes, so we're looking at shares of Kohl's, and this is interesting because we've really been seeing this meme stock rally returning. Another company that I cover is Open Door Technologies, that's ticker Open. And we're just seeing a wide base rally right now between Kohl's and Open Door. But let's look at Kohl's here. We're actually seeing this, of course, because of social media chatter, as is typical when we think about these meme stocks here. We're seeing shares that doubled, more than doubled this today throughout trading. And we are seeing shares that are up about 86%. That's insane as we speak right now. But we are seeing it fading a little bit, earlier up as much as 105%. But this is really just Kohl's ripping right now. And a lot of people are pointing back toward that 2021 meme stock script that we were seeing played out with GameStop and, of course, all the others.
49% of the float is short interest.
Yeah.
Just really saying.
You always bring up the short interest, Carol.
I know, because it's like, it tells a story.
So
it does.
It means investors are not all in.
last week,
Or they might have to do a bunch of short covering.
crypto assets hit $4 trillion. Bitcoin around all-time highs. Meme stocks are being memey again.
Is this an everything is awesome
What's going on?
kind of moment for us? It is kind of fascinating to watch.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.